everyone. Today is Thursday, January 2nd, 2014. It's the meeting of the Board of School Trustees, School City of East Chicago, at 5 p.m. I'd like to ask for a roll call, please.
Trustee Rivera.
Here.
Trustee Rodriguez.
Here.
Trustee Hill.
Here.
Trustee Winfield.
Here.
Trustee Morris.
Here.
Trustee Monroe.
Present.
Trustee Perez.
Here.
Trustee Ramos.
Here.
Chairman Gomez.
Here. I'd like to ask everyone to stand and join in the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item of business is the election of officers. We'll pick the officers in order of president, vice president, and secretary. I'd like to, at this point in time, open the floor to nominations for president of the East Chicago School Board for year 2014. Any nominations?
Mr. President, I'd like to nominate myself as president.
The motion for, the call for Frank Rivera for election of president. Any other officers? I'll present myself as a candidate for president of the board 2014. Any other interested individuals for office of president? Hearing none, the nominees are closed. Between Frank Rivera and Jesse Gomez. Ms. Cass, can you call roll?
Okay, you would be voting, state the
My
name
name.
of the person
My
that you
name.
would like to be president.
Trustee Rivera.
Yes.
No name.
You guys say
You gotta say your name.
Thank you, Jen.
Trustee Rodriguez.
Jesse.
Trustee Hill.
Jesse.
Trustee Winfield.
Right.
Trustee Gomez.
Gomez.
Trustee Morris.
Frank Rivera.
Trustee Monroe.
Jesse.
Trustee Perez.
Jeff.
And Trustee Reynolds.
Frank.
Okay, there's 4 for Mr. Rivera and 5 for Trustee Gomez.
Thank you. The next item of business is the nomination of officers for vice president. I'd like to nominate Terry Hill for vice president for school year 2014. Are there any other nominations?
I'd like to nominate Drake Morris.
Nomination for Drake Morris for vice president. Any other nominations? Would either of the candidates like to withdraw their name? Nominations are now closed. We'll take roll call. Take the vote. Roll call, please. By name.
Trustee Rivera.
Drake.
Trustee Rodriguez.
Terry Hill.
Trustee Hill.
Terry Hill.
Trustee Winfield.
Terry Hill.
Trustee Morris.
Drake.
Trustee Gomez.
So you go this way. I'll be last.
Trustee Monroe.
Terry Hill.
Trustee Perez.
Karen Hill.
Trustee Reynolds.
Frank.
Chairman Gomez.
Terry Hill. Vote total.
6 for Trustee Hill, 3 for Trustee Monroe.
Congratulations.
I'm sorry. Morris.
Happy New Year.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Mel. Thank you all for your vote. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Next item is position secretary for the board 2014. Are there any nominations on the floor?
Mr. President, I'd like to nominate Marty Cruz.
Any nominations for Marty Cruz Perez? Any other nominations? Nominations are closed. Roll call.
Trustee Rivera. Trustee Rodriguez. Trustee Hill. Trustee Winfield. Trustee Moore. Trustee Monroe.
Marty.
Trustee Perez. Trustee Ramos.
Marty.
Chairman Gomez.
Marty. Congratulations, Marty.
I'd like to point out that we all voted. The way that you did my vote.
Thank you very much. The next item is approval of personnel report.
I'm sorry, Mr. President, you still have to appoint a treasurer.
Treasurer.
Okay.
Treasurer cannot be a board member and cannot be the superintendent.
I'll
I'd like to nominate Ms. Katie.
I'd like to know.
Second.
Everybody likes
Everybody like to know.
I'll second that nomination. Indeed, for the books.
Thank you. There's a nomination for Katie now.
Yes, do it.
Trustee Rivera.
Katie.
Say mine.
Yeah.
Trustee Rodriguez.
Katie.
Trustee Hill.
Katie.
Trustee Winfield. Trustee Morris.
Katie.
Trustee Monroe.
They abstain?
Trustee Ramos.
Katie.
Chairman Gomez.
Katie Dalton.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I don't think anybody else was eligible.
We can move on to Attorney Leslie. You can now move on.
Yeah, you can now move on.
Thank you. Next item is approval of personnel report. Is there a motion to approve?
I make a
Motion by Trustee Ramos, second by Trustee Monroe. To accept the personnel report. Any questions? Roll call, please.
I have a question, Mr. President. Did we ever speak about all these particular people on the non-certified personnel? I thought we were going to bring people forward to have conversations about that.
I believe Superintendent Dewan already addressed that at the last board meeting.
During the work session, I shared a handout from Coach Trino, I'm sorry. Mr. Cavazos sat down with me and explained the process, and I typed that out and shared that with
I'd like to ask another question too. When will it be ever, in lieu of the fact of being board members, that we can ever meet with any of the coaches or anyone else we ask to speak in front of the board?
I guess, can I answer that? Because I guess the question was not to bring a form back, but to have the person present.
President.
Trustee Hill.
Well, see, I thought we were gonna start with the baseball team, but however, it wouldn't have been fair for us to have a conversation with them and then have a conversation with the other coaches. However, I think from this day forth, this is where we need to take action. I mean, all the coaches and whoever we choose.
Mr. President, if we can look at it, that the season's in,
Trustee Hill.
okay, everybody starts over at the end of June. We would have to put everything in place between June and then July is the new year.
I think we should discuss this online again at a work session.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. That's the issue.
So board member Trustee Monroe.
Yes, yes.
My question basically is, when will
Excuse me,
we
could you address the
ever-
board?
Hold on.
Could you address the board, please, before speaking?
Okay. Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, Ms. Secretary, okay? Mr. Monroe,
Yes.
my comment basically is, we've been asking for the longest, regardless of the coaches. It's not just the coaches, I'm talking about anyone that we've been asked for. We've never have had the opportunity to discuss anything with anyone. And that was one of the gripes we've had as a whole entire board, as a majority. I'm asking that in the future, whenever we're asking for someone, that we facilitate that. regardless of the fact.
I'm go along with you on this, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Excuse me.
But,
Excuse me.
yeah, let's.
Let's just move on with this, please. I'm gonna call for vote, please.
I wanted to put that on record. I wanted to put that on
My
record.
fault.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Rivera,
Yes.
trustee Rodriguez,
Yes.
trustee Hill,
Yes.
trustee Winfield,
Yes.
trustee Morris,
No.
trustee Monroe,
Yes.
trustee Perez,
Yes.
trustee Reynolds,
Yes.
chairman Gomez.
Yes. Next item is approval of McKinley request to offer CPR classes to parents and staff. Mr. Warren, would you like to address this?
Yes, sir. Mr. Garcia has requested his parent liaison as a contact that is willing to come and offer CPR classes for the parents and teachers at the end of the school day for a minimal per participant cost, which would be paid by each participant. There will be no charge to the school district. Training will take place at McKinley's, and everybody who participates will have the American Heart Association Heart Saver. And the instruction will include CPR, AED, use and relief of choking in adults and children, and the use of barrier devices. Upon board approval, they will schedule the event, and I will be able to report back as to the date and the time.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve? Motion by trustee Rodriguez, second by trustee Monroe. Questions? Attorney Leslie, if I just have one. Once a person certified in CPR, they're held under the Good Samaritan law?
Yes.
Yes.
So the schools.
Yeah, we don't have any liability.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Any other questions? Roll call.
Trustee Rivera,
Yes.
trustee Rodriguez,
Yes.
trustee Hill,
Yes.
trustee Winfield,
Yes.
trustee Morris,
Yes.
trustee Monroe,
Yes.
trustee Perez,
Yes.
trustee Reynolds,
Yes.
chairman Gomez.
Yes. Next item is approval of appropriation transfer resolution. Ms. Dowling.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is essentially Appropriation Transfer Resolution 2014-01. You'll see them numbered going forward to aid in tracking. This is essentially year-end housekeeping, transferring appropriations within the general fund, the exempt fund, and interest fund, and the transportation fund. The net effect of those transfers is zero in and among each fund.
Is there a motion to approve?
Question.
Yes, sir.
Is there a motion to approve?
Question.
I make a motion.
Motion
I'll second.
by trustee Rodriguez, second by trustee Hill. Questions?
Yes,
Trustee
Ms.
Rivera?
Ms. Dowling, I think these are the areas in which, if I read the article last night that Mr. President sent to us, were the objectives of what we were transferring dollars into. Because there was a statement in the newspaper stating that you were moving dollars back and forth. I want to make sure that we're clear that these are the dollars that we're talking about.
Ms. Dowling?
This is unrelated. These are essentially transfers of appropriation. There's no cash transfer. So essentially through the year, there's accounts that they ran negative in the general fund, and there are other accounts that are positive. This essentially is just offsetting those together for a net effect of zero. So it's not related to any cash transfer at all. It's just transfer appropriation within those individual funds. It has no effect on a deficit or money.
My question becomes, what money have you moved around? Because that was stated in the newspaper. I want to make sure we're clear as to what that statement entails, because I got a few telephone calls from constituents wondering what money were you moving around?
The monies that have been approved by the board to be transferred from other funds into the general fund, those transfers were a transfer from the Education Technology Fund to the general fund.
Education Technology Fund, okay.
To the general fund, and that was for monies that should have returned because of reimbursements to the general fund that did not.
Okay.
We had the normal transfers from the debt bond and interest fund into the general fund for the common school fund loans we have received for technology.
Okay.
And the last one was and the largest was the health insurance, where we had the claims fund that was receiving reimbursements and such, but that money was never making it back to the general fund. So those are the three items that were actual cash transfers or cash infusions on a one-time basis from their original funds to the general fund.
I appreciate your clarity only because we're going to be going into situations with the union in lieu of riffing. And I don't want them to think that we have money and we're transferring money back and forth for whatever objectivity they may have in their own minds.
Ms. Dowling, did we vote on those?
Yes,
We did vote on those? The board was made aware of those transfers prior to the vote? We discussed it today that we voted, that we were, okay, so the board did know about it in advance, correct?
Yes, we did.
Okay, and those are public records?
They are.
Yes, they are.
They're approved by the board already, they were signed off by the board? Okay, so the union, if they want, they can access that through public records, correct?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Roll call, please.
Well, I have a question.
I'm sorry.
Ms. Dowling, those, all three of those items that you mentioned were credit transfers, correct? In other words, they were cash brought back to the general fund of what you researched and found.
The items that Mr. Rivera was asking me about, not what you're approving here today, but the original
The
items,
the items
yes.
that Mr. Rivera.
Yes.
All right.
And I just want to make sure that we're clear so that we don't have anyone, or any ambiguity out there. Because I just don't want to come back on something that people start saying, well, we got money here, and money there.
Any board member that's approached by somebody in the community, you can direct them to the board, direct them to the superintendent, and I'm sure they would be happy to answer questions. I think the board is here to approve, not necessarily to answer questions by the community. Superintendent's task, and the job you assign her to is to know about what's going on here. And again, public records are available to the community. They can access those through Ms. Cast.
I just don't want my job.
Is there any other questions?
Yes, I just don't want my job to be more difficult by the statements being made, that's all.
Roll call.
Trustee Rivera,
Yes.
Trustee Rodriguez,
Yes.
Trustee Hill,
Yes.
Trustee Lindsay. Yes. Trustee Moore,
Yes.
Trustee Monroe,
Yes.
Trustee Perez,
Yes.
Trustee Ramos,
Yes.
Chairman Gomez.
Yes. Next item is the announcements. Ms. Dowling, do you have announcements? I'm sorry, Ms. Dewan. Apologies.
I have one, and it's an announcement that's been made before, but it's a reminder that there's a winter nature camp being offered February 8th and 9th at the Dunes Learning Center. And it's going to offer winter night hikes, a campfire, and skiing, weather permitting, all part of the fun at the Dunes Learning Center Winter Nature Camp for grades 3 through 6. They can spend 2 days and 1 night exploring the Indiana Dunes National Lake Shore with new friends at this unique camp experience. There's going to be 2 informational sessions offered, one on Tuesday, January 14th at 6 p.m. out at the Dunes Learning Center, and the second opportunity is on Wednesday, January 15th here at St. Catherine's Hospital at 6 p.m. in their conference room. And this is a great benefit for our East Chicago students, thanks to the generosity of ArcelorMittal. The Winter Nature Camp is available to East Chicago students at no charge. So our goal is to fill up all the spaces and have a great experience for our students.
Thank you.
Thank you. And there's copies of the flyer available.
Oh, wonderful, thank you. There's also an announcement by Trustee Ramos for Carnegie Arts Center.
Yes, as you know, the School City of East Chicago has a partnership with the Carnegie Arts Center, for which I am one of the, on the board for. If not for the Carnegie Arts and its partners, donors, and community leaders, over 3,300 students, most in our East Chicago elementary schools, would not be educated, inspired, and connected through their programs that teach art, music, theater, dance, literacy, science, and math. All of the programs fill the gaps that exist in our schools and go the extra mile by connecting these extra subjects with real-world, real-life quantifiable skills and abilities. The Carnegie Arts brings resources and leaderships when they partner with communities and schools such as ourselves to improve the educational and artistic successes that are vital for an improved quality of life. So just to name some of the programs that we have here in East Chicago: the Readers Theater, Make a Book, the Stage Program, Schools Teaching Arts for Growth and Enrichment, FBBR, which is Families Building Better Readers. They've also conducted professional development here in our district for our music teachers, as well as hosted a district-wide arts festival. So whether we work in our home community of East Chicago or across Northwest Indiana or around the world, Carnegie Arts brings professionalism, passion, and commitment to offer the best. Thank you.
Thank you. There's public forum is the next item. There's nobody that signed up for public forum. And the next item is the date and time of next meeting. Before I announce that, I do want to make mention that this January 6th, there's no school for students. It's a grading day for teachers. And the 7th, is there a snow delay or weather delay, I should say?
We're gonna make that determination probably on the 6th, depending on the weather. Right now, it's projected to be extremely cold. We'll wait to see if that
Okay.
holds up.
Okay, and you'll advise by,
On the 6th, we'll send it out through all of our media, including the web page and the Chicago page and the radio stations and television. And the all call system, the alert.
So we do ask all parents to listen for voicemails, listen to WJOB, and listen via Facebook, via Channel 21.
And it'll also be on our web page, and it'll be emailed to all three with me.
thank you. The date and time of the next meeting will be January 16, 2014, at 6:30 p.m. That'll be held at East Chicago Central High School. Next item is adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by trustee Hill, second by trustee Monroe. Roll call.
Trustee Rivera. Trustee Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trustee Hill.
Yes.
Trustee Wentworth. Yes. Trustee Lawrence.
Yes.
Trustee Monroe.
Yes.
Trustee Perez.
Yes.
Trustee Rennie.
Yes.
Mayor Gomez.
Yes. Meeting is adjourned.